Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin pushed above the 27,150 resistance level yesterday and therefore pushed also a little bit higher. As explained in previous videos, a move above 27,150 would likely take us to the next resistance level at 27,700. That's the next decision point. We are basically there now, just trying to fight with that level here. Yeah, and so far, there is no sign that Bitcoin wants to give up on this uptrend. And already in the last few days, Bitcoin did not break below any of the levels that would have confirmed to us that this short-term uptrend is over. Okay, so the idea was to push higher as long as it stays above certain levels. So I gave you yesterday, day before, certain levels that would confirm that Bitcoin finally turns around, but they were never reached. So from that point of view, the uptrend was never broken. And Bitcoin showed some strength also as a result to the, the positive news about the debt ceiling in the US. Now, as a result, the count has morphed a little bit, not massively. I think we still deal here with a correction. I'm going to tell you the short-term bearish, but also bullish count in a minute. So let's start with the bearish count, at least short-term bearish, because they are both bullish scenarios. What I also need to emphasize here, and that's very important, we have reached in this overall correction our trend reversal area. So whenever that's done, price can turn around, and therefore it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone if price starts to rally already now to 30K, 40K. I don't think it will do, yeah, but it's been said often enough that as soon as these trend reversal areas are reached, price can turn around. In fact, many altcoins definitely need a recovery. So we're going to take a look at that. But first of all, let's start with the bearish count, which is still preferred until price can convince me that it has bottomed. So looking at this, I've shifted things a little bit. Other interpretations are possible, but they don't matter in the short term, okay? So I've just highlighted that obviously this is still the wave 1 high, no change here. But the move down with the latest push to the upside could morph into a larger WXY structure. But that's only one scenario. Don't pay too much attention now to how this is labeled. This could change. This could also be an A, B, C structure, or as I had before, A wave, B wave, C wave to the downside, but simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, no change, and that doesn't matter so much in the short term. What I want to show in the short term is the short-term bearish count, which is this one, assuming that we moved up in a wave W, came down in an X wave, and we're now moving up in a Y wave. This could also be, and there is no way of saying at the moment which one it is. This could also be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Why does that matter? It matters a little bit because sometimes a C wave can be a little bit stronger. A C wave can be impulsive, whereas a Y wave consists typically of an ABC structure in itself. Why are both possible? Both are possible because we retraced quite a lot. Yeah, so we had an A wave, or at least this move up here was in a 3-wave structure. That already gives us the heads up that the move down was either a B wave or an X wave. I would actually, looking at this could rather be a B wave down. Because then we had an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Because this looks quite impulsive, but really both are possible, okay? The thing is, I consider both because the move to the upside here is not yet clearly impulsive, okay? It doesn't make a great difference now, but just be aware that both are possible. The Y wave would probably give us a little bit more of a chop, which means we could see a setback soon and another move up. But as I said, I have no sign it has topped yet. Right. What are the possible targets for this scenario? So first of all, this is a larger corrective structure in the bearish scenario, and we would then still expect another move to the downside. What are the relevant levels? So first of all, we can use the Fibonacci extensions, okay? So we take the length of that move to the upside, we go to the low of the, X wave, and then the very relevant level is the 1-to-1 ratio, the 100% extension. Another one that's, by the way, very important is the 1.272. 1.236. But it doesn't matter, they're both very similar. So we've got this one, 27,700. That was also our resistance. Now we are there now. That's the first level where this wave can react. Then we've got the 28,130 level, the 1.236 extension. That's very close to the next structural high. And then we've got the 1.618 extension at 28,835. In that structure, ideally, it wouldn't go above that level. Okay, so we've got a little bit of distance that it can still travel. And we'll see in the next few days how that develops. But at the moment, there is no sign the uptrend has stopped. Okay, so but this is basically a bearish scenario. And as long as we only have 3 waves to the upside, A wave, B wave, C wave, or WXY, the expectation would be to follow through to the downside afterwards. And what's the bullish count? So let's also take a look at the direct bullish breakout count. So the bullish scenario is also one that we talked about. Of course, possible. I find it rather unlikely at the moment, but it is absolutely something we need to have on the radar. Bear in mind all the scenarios that I show you, and I think this is sometimes misunderstood, but it's actually quite, well, common sense. All the scenarios I show you here, and so far I've only shown you just one, which is the short-term bearish one. Now I show you the bullish one. They are both generally likely. It's just between them we can balance between more likely and less likely, but they're both likely. So I show you one which I find most likely. This is my most likely scenario, that we head down afterwards as long as we only have 3 waves. Yeah, I have at the moment no clear indication we have bottomed. We could have, yeah, and therefore we're exploring the second likely scenario. This is not an unlikely one. It is the second likely one. All the unlikely ones, honestly, I don't even show them to you. Yeah. So just if an alternative scenario works out, it is simply the case that it's the second likely scenario. Just hopefully that sinks into everyone, because I think sometimes people think the alternative scenario is unlikely. But why would I show you an unlikely scenario? It doesn't make sense. I don't want to waste your time. So we only show the likely scenarios. You know, markets can do anything. I only focus on what the market should do, not what the market could do. I can show you 10 counts here. But many of them are just not, just not feasible, not likely. So we're going to show you only the likely ones. So be aware, the bullish breakout scenario is of course likely, but I find it less likely than the still downside move, right? So if you, for example, have to balance between, okay, let's say, and there is no way of calculating probability numbers, but if I said to you, right, we have a 70% probability of still going down and a 30% probability of going up, even though they would, there's no way of calculating probabilities in Elliott Wave. But if I did that, it would still mean 30% is quite a lot, right? So just consider that. Always need to think in uncertainties. Okay, so the bullish scenario would be that this was actually a wave 1 and we came down in a wave 2. And what we want to see now is a 3rd wave rally. Then we want to see a 4th wave and a 5th wave. This will be choppy. This will not be impulsive, because the wave 1, what I have labeled as wave 1, is only a 3-wave move. So it would need to be a leading diagonal, which means all the subwaves are corrective. So it will be hard to forecast this one. And I need to see 5 waves to believe it. Then we should see 3 wave down afterwards. But I find that development, again, less likely. And I can tell you why. Because the move here came down too deep. Yeah, the move on the retracement on the 25th of May. Because if you draw the retracements, then it broke below the 78.6 retracement. Yeah, it didn't sustain there, but it still shows weakness. And that's one issue I have with this bullish breakout count. And also, typically, if we were really in a 3rd wave, normally I would like to see volume go up. Now, okay, it's a weekend. I don't see anything, right? Volume is still very weak. So this is not carried by volume. Now, then again, I find volume quite deceptive in crypto. When volume is there, the price has already moved a lot. Yeah, the crowd is already there, but still there is literally little volume at the moment. So those are the 2 arguments, or the 2 points why I don't consider the bullish breakout scenario as primary. Yeah, and that's my update about Bitcoin. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.